Okay, welcome to this webinar. Today I'm going to show you how to get started with Canva. I've been using Canva pretty much almost from the moment I started my business. I can't remember exactly how I discovered it, but I'm really glad I did, because it's one of the tools that I use consistently alongside Constant Contact probably and Free Agent, my accountancy software. I think I'm in both of those things weekly, if not a little bit more often. I know I use Canva on a daily basis. It's just a massive sort of bonus to help me raise awareness of my business. But there's so much that you can do with it, and I know it can be a little bit daunting getting started today. So today I'm going to show you a bit around. I've got a couple of slides, and then I'm going to show you around my account and how I do things, just to allay those nerves. So you've discovered the question box. I've left plenty of time for questions at the end. So type in your questions as you think of them. I will answer all of those at the end of the webinar. Lots of clicking around. So I'll answer all of those at the end of the webinar. As I've just mentioned, I'm recording the webinar, so don't worry if you don't manage to write everything down. I will send out the recording in the next few days. Okie dokie, so let's look at what we're going to cover today. I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to take you into my account and show you around. We'll look at the home page, and then I'm going to show you how to set up your brand assets, and this is really useful for creating consistent designs. We'll look at how to customize a template step by step, and I'll show you just what's available in Canva Pro. I mean, if you're using Canva already and only using the free version, you'll see what's different in Canva Pro. I've been paying, I think I used Canva, the free version, for the first year that I used Canva, and then I just found it so useful that I decided I was going to pay for it, and honestly it's just brilliant. So and as I go through features, I will highlight to you what's new in Canva, and there have been lots and lots of things that they've added since I last did this webinar. I think I did it in May. But I'll highlight the features that I think will be most useful for you, so you don't get too overwhelmed. Now, before we get started, I've got a question for you. How confident do you feel creating your own graphics? I've got a little poll which I'm going to launch. Here we go. Right, let's launch this poll. So you should see that poll on your screen imminently. How confident do you feel designing your own graphics? And I'll give you a little bit of time to answer that question, and we'll have a look at the results. But I have to say that when I started my business, lots of people said to me, "Oh, you'll be great at this. You've done marketing for a living. You'll be brilliant. You'll get customers, you know, so easily." The big problem for me was that the last couple of jobs that I had were management positions, which meant that I didn't really do very much of the doing. I did a lot of planning and managing teams and things like that. So I found it quite daunting having to design my own graphics. And if I'm honest, when I look back at the ones that I designed early on, they were pretty poor. So it is a bit daunting. Right, I'm going to close the poll, and we can see that there we are. That's how you feel about using designing your own graphics, and most of you have said you're not very confident. So hopefully today I'm going to show you how easy it can be, and I'm going to show you how I get really great looking graphics. And with Canva, do you know, it's so easy that you'll be surprised at kind of how little designing you have to do because they make it so simple for you. So, right, don't forget to keep asking your questions as we go along. As we move through the different sections, I will make sure that I answer as many of those as I can before we finish today. Just a little bit before we talk about Canva, just a little bit about me. So I've been a micro business owner. There's only me and my business for coming up to 4.5 years. To the end of this month, 4.5 years. And before that, I was head of marketing for the UK for a company called Constant Contacts, an American company. So I was based here in the UK. It does email marketing, but much more now. So it was there that I was bitten by the micro business bug, the small business bug. I like to help business owners find their inner marketer, and I know that inner marketer is there. I will help you discover the recipe that will work for your business, whether you want to know how to use email marketing, social media, or you want to learn how to run a marketing campaign. I can help you get there, and faster than you would on your own. I'm also an official She Means Business social media trainer and an Amazon Small Business Accelerator advisor. Also an accredited partner with Constant Contacts. I passed my exam recently with 97%, so I was really happy about that. So that's the one exam I take a year. So it's always a bit nerve-wracking. You can connect with me on all the places on this slide. You know, come and find me on your network of choice. If you want to receive my weekly email, it's called the Marketing Morsel. I talk about one thing in that email that will help you find your inner marketer. So the link is right there, and I will send you a link to that in the follow-up email that I do after this, emails that I do after this webinar. Okay, let's move on to the bit that you're here for. Let's look in my Canva account now. I'm quickly going to Alt-Tab into it, and then I'm going to share my screen. So let's have a look at, make sure you can see that. It's waiting for, right. That is my Canva account, and it's on my monitor to my left. So I am going to look over there to be able to navigate it and show it to you. So bear with me if I'm not looking directly in the camera. I'll try and remember to flip back and look at you so you see my face too. If me having my webcam on is affecting you seeing what's happening, let me know in the questions box and I will turn my webcam off. For the minute I'll leave it on. So here we go. Oh, now that has flipped back. Why is it flipped back? Let's just go back. There we go. Right, so hopefully, yep, that stayed. Right, so this is the home, sorry, let's go back. This is the home page on Canva. So you pop in, when you go into your account, this is where you end up. Right at the top, you've got your search bar. And I was just making sure that this was working actually before I came on the webinar. So you've got your search bar and you can search for whatever you want. And I create quite a lot of graphics that have tips. So I searched on tip. And what it does is it brings up templates that you can use, which are really great. So you can see there's lots of different templates here. But also it brings up the designs that you've created. So if you can't find the designs that you've created, you can search in that box and find what you've created more easily. Now, the next thing, so the home page is great, and I'll come back to that in a little while, but on the left-hand side here, the next thing is all your designs. And this is basically what it says. It's everything that you've created. So you can see I created a couple of Instagram graphics yesterday. This one was on my grid yesterday. This one is, get a sneak preview. This one's for today. They are scheduled, so they're going to go out, you know, when I've scheduled them. I also do graphics for my clients. So these are graphics that I've created for a client of mine for a campaign that we're about to launch which is all about new ways of working and IT security. So David is saying he has no sound. Can everyone else hear me? I'll just let me. All right, Tamara's saying yes, Paul's saying yes. David, do you want to go back out and come back in again? That might help you to get your sound back, but don't worry, because I am recording this and you will get a copy of this. So if you miss any bits, don't worry, but David, log out and come back in again. Oh, Nikki said she had to log out and come back in on a different device, so perhaps just do that so that you can make sure you can hear. So yeah, so this is where all my designs live, but it's a bit unwieldy because I create a lot of designs, as you can see, and I've been using Canva for pretty much four years. So that's you know, one way of finding them. I will come back to folders, which is how you can organize your designs. Let's just go back to home, and I want to show you, we've looked at the search bar, but I want to show you templates, and you can see suggested, these are recommended templates for me across the top, because guess what? I do a lot of posting, a lot of designs for social media. I've been helping my sister actually, which is why Resume is there, because she's in the market for a new job. So I was showing her how I could help her use Canva to build her CV. You can see it shows a little bit of a highlight of what I've designed. Team templates, so you can create your own templates, and you know, for things that you use really often. So you'll recognize this if you've been on my blog, you'll recognize this as my blog graphic. So I use that quite a lot. So I've created a template that means that I don't have to recreate this every time I want to use it. And then it goes into different types of posts. Instagram, you can create your own logo in Canva, posters, animated social media posts, which are brilliant for grabbing people's attention. Facebook covers, you can create documents, presentations, Instagram stories. If you're stuck for ideas, you can come into Canva and have a look at what they've got and create some Instagram stories for you. You've got YouTube thumbnails, flyers, videos, which is a relatively new feature, and again available in Canva Pro. But you can create these videos. So where I say, you know, you should be using video in your marketing, and you're a bit nervous about getting in front of the camera yourself, you can use Canva to create some videos for your social media, which would be really good. Graham, I will come on to what's in the Pro version, but yes, a lot of this is in the Pro version. So I'm going to show you what's in the Pro version, but honestly, it's worth it. It really is. There are limited things that you can do on the free version, and I've got a little graphic later on to show you the difference between the free and the Pro version. So there you go. You can create infographics, LinkedIn banners, lots and lots of templates for different types of things that you want to do. I know I want to change my Instagram highlight covers. I'm trying to think about what I want my highlights to be, and I know I'm going to come back to these and pick something that's fits in with my brand. So there you go. That's templates for you. There's just so much there that you can choose from. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the brand kit, and this is where you set up your brand. You can put up logos. So you can see I've created, I've uploaded logos for clients of mine. These are my logos, obviously. You can create a brand color palette, which means that you can always have these to hand. You don't have to find the hex number every time you want to use your colors. You can create your brand fonts. You can have the headings, the subheadings, and you can also upload fonts. So you can see I've got a couple of different palettes in there. This is something that I do locally, which is to help small businesses in Hillingdon, where I live. So, you know, creating a brand palette is really, really good to help you to get your look and feel consistent. And if you want to add things, you can reorder these palettes, you can delete them. But imagine that I had another color that I wanted to add. I would just click on this cross, put in the hex number, and that would be, I've managed to add that, but that would be the color that I would add. So it's really useful to have this all set up, and you can add, I can add a new palette, but this is how you would add a palette. So you would create the palette, give it a title, and then add your colors, and you can add as many colors as you want. So this, I would recommend you go in and do this and make sure that you really get a consistent look and feel across what you're doing. The next thing I want to talk to you about is folders. So I showed you about how you can look at all your designs, which is a little bit unwieldy, but now you can organize your designs into folders, which means that it's easier to find things. So you can see that I've got a number of folders, some for my clients, some for me. I volunteer for our local business forum. I'm on the committee, so I've got a folder for things that I design for them in there. She Means Business Trainer, so I've got my She Means Business folder. I've got one for testimonials so that I can find my testimonials quite easily. I even do personal stuff. So every year at Christmas, like a couple of years ago, my husband and I decided that we weren't going to buy each other presents because we had enough things. So the presents that we do buy each other are normally an experience. So every year I'll create a nice Christmas card with his experience in it so that he gets something to open on Christmas Day. So everything is organized in folders, and you can see that I've also got a logos folder, which means that I can get to my logos really easily. So it's a really good idea to organize your Canva account into folders. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some things that I've done and some designs that I've created. Now this one I created for one of my clients. She's a hairdresser, and this is for her newsletter. So every newsletter that they send out, she puts in a hair care tip. She's been doing this for a little while now. She's got lots of tips on her website, but now we're repurposing those tips and putting them into the newsletter and then putting a link back to her website so that she can get people to go back to her website and read those tips. But it's a nice way to really give her newsletter a little bit of a nicer visual identity, and the colours fit in with what her brand colours are. So they've got this sort of lime green and the grey. The next thing is let me go to my designs. Actually, I'm in the designs bit. So the next thing is a flyer that I designed for myself. I'm just going to open this up so you can see it a little bit more easily in a bigger format. So this was for a workshop that I did last year, and I created this within Canva, as you can see. But put the information on there. This was actually something that was handed out and put up in places to promote my flyer, hence my event, hence the level of detail on this flyer, so that people could get as much information from this as they could. Caroline, I'm coming to creating one from scratch, but I'm just showing you the possibilities that you can get from using Canva. I also use Canva to create my proposals. So I like my proposals to look nice and look on brand. So I use Canva to create my proposals, and you can download these in PDF. So it just looks really professional, and when people receive them, they think, oh, this, I don't send out a Word document that I put in PDF, which is what I used to do in the beginning before I learned how to do this on Canva. Okie dokie, right, I'm just gonna have a little drink and then I'm gonna go into designing from scratch. Okay, so let's create a Facebook post. So I'm going to create a design and I'm going to go to Facebook post. And it brings up a blank design here. But what it does do as well, which is really, really useful, is it lists all the templates that you can use on the left-hand side. And typically what I tend to do is scroll through templates and look at ones that I might like to use. So these are ones that have been used recently. And that's good because if you want to use one that you've used before, you get this menu and you can go back and pick something that you've used recently. Or you can pick from the ones that they've given you. So For You is based on the types of templates that you use frequently. So they pick ones that they think that you might want to use. You can see that they've got some specific coronavirus Facebook posts, newsroom, sales, food, which is always close to my heart, birthday. There's lots and lots of them, and you can go through and you can even search in the search bar for a template. So let's have a look at what they've got in here for me, and let's pick this one. So it says you're an awesome dad. It's for Father's Day, obviously. Actually, let's pick a different one. Let's pick, I don't know. Is it why is it Father's Day? I don't know. Let's pick one that I used recently. Right, let's go with that one. Right, so this looks nothing like my brand. I don't sell clothes. I don't have sales. There's not my colours. It's not a picture that maybe I would use, but I could do. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at how I can brand this up to make it look like it's coming from me. So you can see this blue line around the graphic, and that means that that's ready for me to start designing and customizing this for myself. So I'm going to pick my background color, and if you know me, you know that the background color I use the most is purple. That's my main color. So now I've applied my color, it's starting to look a little bit more like it could come from me. But the text now looks awful because it's that blue color. So I'm going to click on the text, click on this A up here, and I'm going to find a white. And you can see that that's changed white, but if you look all the way down in the corner of the screen here, what I can do is I can change all of that blue to white with a tick of a box. So that means there's less faffing around there. And then I'm going to click on this line and go back to the colors, and you can see that as I'm changing colors, it's adding it to the document colors, so I don't have to look for things. And I'm going to change that line to white. So now that already looks like it's come from me. So it's got my colors on it, and the text is easy to read. So then you can start changing the text, so you can have the text say what it is that you want to say. So I actually published my next webinar this week, which is called Christmas Marketing 101. Oh, 101. Now that's taken it over the 2 lines. And I'm thinking, well, actually what I want to do is make sure that is on 2 lines. So I'm going to take down the size of that title a little bit. Let's make it 64. That fits nicely. So Christmas Marketing 101. And I'm up here, I'm going to put webinar. Here I'm going to put the date, so it's the 14th of October, 10:30 to 11:50 a.m. online. So that's my graphic. I could leave it at that, and I could just download that and use that to start promoting my event because it's Christmas related. That picture works really well. What I do want to do is have my logo on there somewhere. So I'm going to go to my folders, and you can see my logos here, and that's my logo. I'm going to resize it, and I'm going to carefully drag it down here, and that's a graphic. That took me no time at all to create a very simple graphic that means that I can now put that on Facebook. I can share that on Facebook and start promoting my webinar and get people to start registering for it. Now I'm thinking, actually, I don't want a static image in that. I want people to look at that and think, and see some movement so it catches their eyes. So along here, I've got a selection of videos, and I'm going to search Christmas. And you can see a ton of Christmas videos, and it's got how many seconds each video lasts as well. And that's important because, for example, Facebook, I think it needs to be at least 15 seconds, I think, for you to be able to publish on Facebook. So let's see if we can find some presents. That's 13 seconds. That looks great. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag that to that box, and you can see that it's fit the size of that box immediately, and I can play it so you can see what that's going to look like when you publish it on social media. So within Canva, you've got the option of using images and videos, and you can just quickly search those and bring them into your design and make that look more interesting. If you want to change the image, you can come up here and you can search Christmas here. If you think, oh, I didn't really like the image that was in there, you can search for Christmas images, and again you just click and you drag it into the little frame, and there you have your box in there. And here you can see in the images, you can see the images that are available in Pro and the images that are free. And you can also filter down, so you can filter down to just the free images, and it will bring up the free images. And if you are on the free plan, then it's easy for you to sift through what's free and available for you to use and what's the Pro version. And I think even when you're in the free version, if you want to use a Pro image, I think you can pay one time to use that. The neat thing is, I don't know if you saw it, you can also add music now to your designs. So I don't know if they will have Christmas music. There you go. So you can add music to your designs. I'm just going to put in jingle bells. So along here you can see the different bits, the different parts of the song, and you can move your section around so that you can get to the section that you want for it to play again and again. So it's a really good way to make your graphics more interesting and help you to get people to stop scrolling. It's that thumb stopper that will help you to get people's attention. Right, so once you have got your design, and you're happy with it, you can download it. So you can download it from here, and you can see that you've got the file type here. So I definitely want the MP4 video. You can also create little GIFs. You can see there's different formats. You can have a PNG, a JPEG, a PDF. You can have a PDF for print. So those are the different ways that you can download it. Now it says connect your social accounts. So you get this one design use music license. So I've done that. So you can do that if you're using the music, and then you just hit the download button, and it will start preparing your design. And you'll see in a minute. It always wants to open the video. So you open the video, and of course it's put it on the other screen. No, I have to share my screen. Oh, there it is. So you can see that's the graphic. Now you can also publish it to Facebook straight away, as long as your Facebook account is connected to Canva. And then there are some other options here as well. So you can share a link if you want somebody to look at it before you do anything with it. You can send a link to somebody. And then you can also schedule. So Canva, this is really, really new. It's only in the last couple of weeks that Canva have introduced scheduling. So you click on schedule and you pick your date and you pick the time. Let's say 8:20 p.m. done. And then my Facebook page is not connected to here, but you connect your Facebook page and you can see all the places that you can schedule. I don't know when or if they're going to get Instagram, because I tried to do this with Instagram. I thought, oh, I've got this webinar coming up, let me try this myself, see how I get on. So they don't have Instagram yet, and I don't know what the plan is for that, but you can see where you can schedule that to, and you just have to connect those accounts to your Canva account. But look at all these different ways that you can really use your designs. And Canva also has a print shop, so you can create your design and order prints right from within Canva. So lots of different things there. I want to show you how easy it is in Canva Pro to resize your design. So we've got this design, and what we want to do is create that for Instagram. And you might think, oh, I'm going to have to start again. I'm going to have to get the Instagram template and find that design and da 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 da. But actually, this resize button at the top is all you need. I'm going to tick Instagram, and I'm going to copy and resize, and it does that automatically for you. So you can see that's the Facebook post, that's the Instagram post. And I might want to just make that a little bit closer, so I might pull that down so it's got the same sort of border around the bottom. But you can see how quickly that's happened, and you can resize to whatever size templates they have, which is such a time saver, because when I do things like create graphics for my blogs, I want to use that same graphic to share over my social networks. So I can create one graphic that goes on my blog post, and then I pick the resize button and choose Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, because the Twitter image size works on LinkedIn, so I've discovered. and it resizes to those three things really quickly, and I do just a little bit of tweaking, and then my design is ready. Okay, so I've shown you schedule, which is new. I also just want to show you the animated posts. So these are the animated social media posts, and again you get a blank canvas to start with, and then you can go through and look at the posts that you might want to use. Now, some of you might recognize this image because I used it to publicize this webinar. So I changed it a little bit. I put my fonts in there. So I changed the fonts here. I added the sound on button because there is music attached to it. But I took that graphic and I customized it exactly how I showed you with the Facebook graphic. And I took it from here, start the day strong, have a cup of coffee first, to here, bring your tea or coffee and learn to create posts like this. I hope I'm kind of have shown you that it's not difficult to really, as a beginner, use these templates and turn them into something that looks like it's coming from you. It's designed for you. It uses your colors, it uses your fonts, it's got your logo on it, which means that people can really identify with that and tie it back to your brand. I just want to show you a couple of other bits. So in the text, actually, let me show you on a blank design because it's probably easier to see on a blank design. Let's go back to Facebook post. You can actually search text, so you can create, you can use the formatted text, but here's what I really want to show you is these different types of text that you can use. So we'll just put this in our design, and you can see it looks really great. It's actually grouped, so it's two different lines of text which they've grouped, and I can ungroup them here, and you can see that's one piece of text and that's another piece of text, and you can see the font that they've used here. But here's the thing, right? We can add some effects to the text. So if I click on effects, you can see that it's actually got echo on it and it's got that color. But we can change the effects. So if I pick lift, you can see how that has changed pool and how it looks different to party, and it's almost 3D. So you can use these different effects to make your text stand out even more on your designs. So check out effects. To me, I just think I would use them sparingly because you want your design to look like you. So maybe, apply your colors and that kind of stuff. I think that would probably look different if I put my purple on it. And if I went, so that obviously now starts looking more like my brand. Caroline's just said, is it easy to upload and edit your own pictures? Sorry, it's not Caroline, it's Derek. It is actually quite easy to upload your own pictures. So I'm going to go back to folders, and this is my folder, and you can see it's got what I've looked at recently, it's got designs, it's got photos. So you can search your photos, you can upload. So if I click upload and I search for an image, let's go into images. There's me. So I'm going to upload that, And there you see, it's really easy to upload your own images. I'm going to add that to let's get rid of this text. I'm going to add that to the canvas so it can have a border around it, or I can delete that and I can click and drag it and it will fit my picture to the canvas. I can also click on effects and I can actually edit it in and give it different effects. I'll just wait for that to load, I'm not entirely sure what's. So I can give it any of these different effects. I don't know if this is going to work, but you can actually remove the background. I think there's quite a lot in this background, so it might not work as well. It just takes a little bit of time. Sorry, that's you can hear that, that's the fan on my laptop kicking off. I think I'm asking it to do a lot. It's actually removed my laptop, but you can see that it removes the background. And then I can pick any one of these effects if I want to add anything to it. So I can change the color. I don't know what that's going to do to my picture. So you can, oh, that's blurry. So you can edit, I'm going to undo all of that. So you can edit your images that you put up there as well. Oh. And if you double click that, you can actually you can crop your image in a different way, so you can have different parts of the image in the design. The next thing I just quickly wanted to show you is apps and integrations. So you can see there's a number of things here. If you use Google Drive or Dropbox, you can connect those so that you can upload images more easily. There's some other things here as well. I have to admit, I don't use the app integrations very often because I find I have everything that I need in Canva, and I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I like to download them and save them on my computer because I never know when I want to get at them. And although Canva does have a mobile app, I tend to do everything on my laptop. So I like to have images saved. I use OneDrive, so I like to have images saved on OneDrive so I can access them whenever I want. Another interesting thing here is styles. So we talked about putting together your brand palette. So you can access your brand kit actually in the styles part really easily. And if you want to use charts, they have got a number of charts that you can use. And I actually designed my, if you saw my survey, the blog that I wrote on the survey that I did, the charts that are in that survey are designed in Canva. Cool. Okay, I am going to come back to there. Fab. Hopefully that's given you a good idea of how you can use Canva. So question, the last time I did this webinar, people asked me the difference between free and pro versions and what the cost is. I completely get how hard it is to allocate money to things, especially right now. For me, this investment is absolutely worth it. I've only focused on like some of the features of Canva Pro on this slide. I've gone through what I think will be useful for you on my account, but you can see what you get from getting Canva Pro. You know, things like, in addition to this, downloading your images as GIFs or MP4s, which I said is really great to do to get to add video to your social posts. Scheduling, we've already talked about that, that's available in Pro. Downloading designs with the transparent background, so getting that background out if you want to use pictures of you in different scenarios. You can customize your download quality, And you also get 24/7 support, which is so critical when you're doing it on your own. And as you can see, if you pay yearly, it's the equivalent of $8.99 a user a month. And I will tell you, and I'll deny this if Canva pick me up on it, but I essentially share my account with my sister who manages some of my social media, so we use the same plan between us. So I started paying for it ages ago, and I'm billed dollars, so I pay about £10 a month, which is a little bit higher than this. I should get myself on this plan to save myself a little bit of money every month. But honestly, it is the best investment I've made, and it's something that I'm want to keep doing. So though that's the difference between the free and the pro versions. Let me just check. Can you see this screen? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? There we go. Right, so this has gone really fast. I've only scratched the surface really, but hopefully I've given you enough of a steer that you can go ahead and try it for yourself. With the link on this slide, you can get 30 days of Canva Pro for free. I promise you, you won't want to go back. I've said it's one of the subscriptions I'm not going to stop. It just is so useful in so many different ways. Right, I'm going to leave this slide up while I look at some of your questions. So let me just get the questions up. Try and make this bigger for myself so I can see them. Right, so let's go back. Oh gosh, Tamara's here from Michigan. Wow, Tamara, hello, and thank you for joining so early. Right, so let's have a look. So Paul has asked, what are the designs and photos that are copyright free? So everything that you use in Canva is you can use that as freely as you want. You will have to read exactly their terms and conditions. So for example, you can't download their photos and start using them willy-nilly, but within your design that you create and what's available, those are freely available for you to use. And I don't know if you noticed in the apps, they also have an integration with Pexels and Pixabay, which are both royalty-free image websites. So you can download and use those graphics that you've created in Canva in as many places as you want. Like I said, the free version only gets you a limited amount. The pro version gets you much, much more. And all those music clips and stuff are cleared for copyright as well. Canva does that for you. But go and read their terms and conditions just to make sure that you are happy with them. Caroline asked, how do you grab and move graphics? I hope I covered that off for you, but I didn't want to overwhelm you with showing you how to start a design from scratch, because you can do that, and as you get more confident using the templates and you want to copy something but do it in a different way, you'll be able to do that. But what I would say is to stick with the templates that Canva provides and customize those and make them look consistent with your brand. And I've shown you can click and drag videos into frames. You can do it into a whole blank canvas if you want. You can click and drag music. So it's really simple to just do that and put things in the place that you want to use them. Caroline, I am not a Mac user, so I cannot advise you on whether it's better on Mac or Windows. I am a Windows girl all the way. I use Chrome. I don't really use any other web browser either. The amount of information Google's got on me is probably too much, but I use it on Chrome. I know my sister has used it on Firefox, and she says that's okay. She wasn't overly enamored with the mobile app, but I've seen some feedback recently from people who have used the mobile app and have said that it's actually much better and is coming more in line with the desktop version. So there's a number of options there for you. You can use your own photos. If it's music that you've composed, I'm sure you can use that, and just be careful about pulling in music from other places, because obviously you don't have the copyright for that. Derek, I've shown you uploading and editing your pictures. Philippa, if you have a photo, is there a filter effect on Canva? You can, yeah, so the effects will help you do that. You can, this one's like summer, winter, autumn, spring. So there's different effects that you can, different filters. So where you've got a photo, you just click on the photo and go to filters, and it will give you a list of filters that you can apply. Typically what I tend to do is I like to have my purple, because that's how people recognize me, the purple or the green, as you can see on the screen, so that people, even if they don't see a logo on it, they recognize that it's from me. So I tend to not use the effects, but you can have those to help you overlay text. Oh, I keep managing to scroll up when I'm looking down. Yes, so Lorna's just asked if I can help identify colours within a design to add them to a brand palette. Yes, I will quickly go back to my Canva account. So if, let's just do create design, Facebook post, let's apply a template. Oh, my laptop's really struggling now. Let's apply this Halloween template, and say you want that blue, and you can see up here what the blue is. You can see the document colors, and you can see when I hover on it, you can see the hex number. So if you write down that hex number, what you can do is then go back to your brand template. Let me just write down this number. So 3CC BC6. So you can go back to your brand kit, and you can do that, and then add 3CC BCB, enter. Oh, and there it is. There's that color from that design. So you can pick that up quite easily. And then Caroline's asking, is Canva disability friendly? E.g., can someone reading it resize text, turn off flashing images, changed? Oh, that's a good question, and I do not know the answer. I know when I upload images, particularly to Twitter and LinkedIn, you have the option to add alt text, so you can describe what's in the image. I think if you download a design as an animated post, you won't be able to turn off the animations. That's what they will look like when it's published. But yeah, I don't know the answer completely to that question. But you make a good point, because not everyone will be able to see everything potentially. I'm going to have a dig and find out for myself if that. If I find a way, I'll let you know, Caroline. But I don't think there is a way to do that particularly. So I've just had someone else has asked how many people can use an account. So that the price that I told you is a per person price. But like I said, I share my account with my sister because she doesn't use it enough for me to justify adding a whole other account. If she came on board with me full time, I'd probably consider that. But yeah, you can have one person using it, but you can pay to have more people. The hex value, someone's just asked. So I actually have a Chrome plugin that's called Colorzilla. So it's color spelt the American way without the U, and Zilla as in Godzilla. And it's a Chrome extension, and I can pick up the hex value on any web page of any color that's on there, which is quite useful when clients don't send me through their brand colors. I can go to their website and pick out their colors. So that's really useful, actually. The Colorzilla. Canva also, I can't remember where this is, but it will also create a color palette for you based off a design that you pick. So if you particularly like a color palette, then Canva will pick that for you and will turn it into a color palette for you. But like I said, in terms of if you want to pick up individual colors, you just need to know the hex number, which you can get by hovering over the color. Carol, Canva has online tutorials. So many. If you go into your Canva account and let me just remind myself where it is. If you go into your Canva account, click on Learn. There is a ton of stuff there that will help you get through finding what you want to find, and also just in terms of like basics, but you can take courses as well. So if you go to Learn, there's a whole design school, and you can take courses. You can see Canva in the classroom, social media, graphic design basics, branding your business. There's a ton of stuff that you can learn from their tutorials, which are really useful. Cool. Okay, so I've managed to keep my webcam going all the time without impacting on anyone. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Have fun creating your designs. It really is. Sometimes I can get lost in there for ages trying to create something that I feel looks really good. So just experiment and have fun. Don't forget to grab that 30-day trial of Canva Pro. As this webinar ends, you'll get a short survey from me. It's got 3 questions, which I'd really appreciate if you could answer. So that's just going to help me to improve my webinars. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure having you here. You'll receive the recording in a few days, and I hope that I will see you soon. So take care and bye.